case. In reality, the international team seemed to recognize no accountability whatever except to the Ecole Biblique. And to whom was the Ecole Biblique accountable? Although he had not investigated the matter himself, Eisenman prompted us, when we probed him, to explore the connection between the Ecole and the Vatican. We approached other scholars in the field, some of whom had gone publicly on record to condemn the scandal, and not one of them, it transpired, had the thought to look into the Ecole Biblique's background and official allegiances. They had, of course, recognized that the Ecole was Catholic, but they did not know whether it had any direct or formal connection with the Vatican. Professor Davies at Sheffield, for example, confessed that he found the question intriguing. Now that he thought about it, he said he found it striking how criticism was so often and so assiduously deflected away from the Ecole. According to Professor Golb at the University of Chicago, people hint that there are connections between the Ecole and the Vatican. A lot of events, he said, fit the theory of connection. Like his colleagues, however, he had not explored the matter any further, given the Ecole's undisputed dominance of Qumran scholarship. It seemed to us particularly important to ascertain the institution's official orientation, attitudes, allegiances, and accountability. Here we decided was something we ourselves could undertake to investigate in detail. The results were to prove a major revelation, not just to us, but to other independent researchers in the field as well. Today, in the late 20th century, one takes the procedures and methodology of historical and archaeological research more or less for granted. Until the mid-19th century, however, historical and archaeological research, as we understand such things today, simply didn't exist at all. There were no accepted methods or procedures. There was no coherent discipline or training. There was no real awareness. That such research in any sense constituted a form of science requiring the rigor, the objectivity, the systematic approach that any science does. The field such as it existed not as a sphere or formal academic study, but as a happy hunting ground for learned and often not so learned amateurs. The territory was as yet too enchanted to accommodate anything that might be called professionalism. Thus, for example, in the early 19th century, wealthy Europeans on their grand tour might rummage about at random for Greek or Roman artifacts to ship back to the chateau Sklos or country house at home in their search for antiquities. A few ventured further afield, digging holes all over the fertile terrain of the vast and moribund Ottoman Empire. Such enterprises amounted in effect not to anything.